All right, let's dive into this. Optimizing your daily exercise, huh? For like peak alertness, mental clarity, and overall health. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, seems like a worthy one.
You guys sent over a ton of stuff, research articles, reports, even some interesting bits on minimal exercise strategies. So we're going to unpack it all. Figure out how to like strategically fit exercise into your day. Morning, midday, evening, the whole shebang.
It's kind of cool though, right? We're not just talking about hitting the gym for hours. It's
Right.
like, how can even those tiny movements you make impact your brain and how you feel overall?
Little brain hacks using movement. I like that. I think one thing that really jumped out at me from what you said, the impact of morning exercise.
Oh, yeah.
Starting your day with like a natural brain booster. Who wouldn't want that?
Seriously. It's almost like having a cup of coffee, but for your brain, you know?
There was this one study, just 30 minutes of brisk walking in the morning, and it led to get this better decision-making in older adults.
Hmm.
And that lasted the whole day. Wow, that is a game changer, especially if you've got like meetings all day or you really need to focus.
For sure. And it all ties back to these brain chemicals. Fascinating stuff. Morning exercise increases something called BDNF.
Okay.
It's basically like a growth factor for your brain cells, helps them, thrive and connect, which supports learning and memory.
I've heard of BDNF, but I didn't realize it was that directly affected by just going for a walk in the morning. So brisk walking. What other types of morning exercise would you recommend?
Well, brisk walking's fantastic, especially if you can get some sunshine at the same time. Then there's moderate cardio, like cycling or a light jog. Those are great ways to kind of jumpstart your brain.
What about something a little more gentle, though, like yoga? I find that helps me feel more mentally focused.
Yoga is fantastic, yeah. Particularly dynamic flows, or even just a few sun salutations, loosens up those muscles after sleep.
Right.
And it incorporates mindfulness, so you're kind of setting yourself up for a sharper day mentally, too.
It's like a two-for-one. You're physically ready for the day and mentally ready to focus. Okay, but some people I know, they prefer a quick, intense workout in the morning. What would you suggest for them?
Well, a short bodyweight circuit can be really effective, like jumping jacks, push-ups, squats, that kind of thing. Even 5 to 10 minutes can get your heart pumping
Yep,
and your energy levels up.
that seems doable even on a busy morning. But I did notice in one of the articles a note about warming up properly. Why is that so crucial, especially in the morning?
Well, think about it. When you first wake up, your muscles are naturally stiffer, right?
Yeah,
So a proper warm-up helps prevent injuries and it helps you get more out of your workout overall. It's just a few minutes, well worth it.
yeah, makes sense. No one wants to start the day with a pulled muscle. Okay, so we've got the morning routine down. Now, what about the rest of the day? I know for me, I tend to hit that like energy slump, especially after sitting at my desk for a while.
Oh, that's so common. And that's where the idea of like middle day movement comes in. Even small breaks can help fight that fatigue and keep you focused.
Okay, so picture this. You're at your desk, starting to feel that afternoon slump coming on. How small are we talking here? Just like getting up to stretch for a minute.
Yeah, even that can help. There is this meta-analysis, looked at a bunch of studies, and they found that short breaks, especially when you move around a bit, led to less fatigue, and workers had more mental energy.
Hmm. So taking those mini breaks is actually like an investment in being more productive.
It's like, think about it. You sit for hours and hours,
Yeah.
your circulation slows down, your brain isn't getting as much oxygen and nutrients. Even a quick walk around the office can do wonders.
So it's not just physical comfort then.
Nope.
It's how these little movements we make actually impact our ability to think clearly.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are some concrete examples of midday movements that our listeners can try?
Well, the easiest is just taking frequent breaks, even for 2 to 5 minutes. Stand up, walk around, maybe do a few stretches. There's even research suggesting this can improve short-term memory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's easy enough to start doing right away. Now, what if you have a little more time, like during your lunch break?
If you can swing it, a lunchtime walk or a quick workout is fantastic. It's refreshing for your mind and body both. And honestly, even 10 minutes can make a difference.
I can picture it now, taking a walk outdoors, getting some sunshine and fresh air.
Exactly. There are studies showing that workers who exercise during lunch, they report being in a better mood and their concentration improves.
So win-win, right? Better mental state and better work performance. But what about those of us who are really chained to our desks for most of the day? Any options?
Oh yeah, desk stretches and mobility drills are your best friend in that situation. Simple stuff, shoulder rolls, neck stretches, even some twists while you're sitting. It all helps relieve that tension and you can focus better.
Perfect. You could even do those during a meeting. No one would even know. What about other creative ways to like sneak in movement?
Have you heard of exercise snacks?
Exercise snacks? Now that sounds interesting. Tell me more.
It's exactly what it sounds like, little bursts of activity throughout your day. It could be 15 squats or a set of wall push-ups, even holding a plank for a minute, anything like that.
I love that. Definitely stealing exercise snacks for my own routine. Okay, but not everyone's into the high-intensity stuff during the working. Are there more, like, gentle options?
Oh, for sure. Mindful breathing or even just mindful walking. A break doesn't have to be intense to be effective, right? Even a few minutes of deep breathing can lower your stress and mentally refresh you.
True. Sometimes the simplest techniques are the most powerful. Okay, so we've covered morning exercise, midday movement. Now let's talk about afternoon and evening exercise. I feel like that's a little more controversial, especially when it comes to sleep.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of back and forth about the best time to work out. People worry that exercising in the evening will mess with their sleep.
Makes sense, I guess. Seems counterintuitive, getting your heart rate up right before you're trying to wind down for the night. So what does the research say about evening workouts and sleep?
It's more nuanced than a lot of people think. Some research actually shows that evening exercise didn't disrupt sleep for most people, and in some cases, it even made their sleep better.
Really, so the whole evening workouts ruin your sleep thing? Not necessarily true.
It really depends on a couple of things, how intense the workout is and the timing. Like, vigorous exercise right before bed. Probably not the best idea, but moderate exercise a few hours before bed. That can actually be helpful.
So it's all about finding the right balance then. Any tips for people who want to work out in the evening but also want to make sure they're getting good sleep?
If you're doing high intensity stuff, heavy lifting, intense cardio, try to aim for the afternoon or at least early evening. Give yourself a good 2 to 3 hours before bed.
Gives your body a chance to cool down.
Exactly.
But why that time frame specifically?
Well, that allows your body to start producing melatonin naturally. That's the hormone that regulates your sleep cycle.
Right, right. So it's not just about feeling physically tired. It's about letting your body's natural sleep-wake rhythms do their thing. Okay, what about more moderate stuff, though, like yoga in the evening or a leisurely walk?
Those are usually fine, even closer to bedtime. They can even help you unwind and de-stress, which can lead to better sleep, actually.
I could definitely see myself doing some calming yoga or taking a relaxing walk to wind down in the evening. But it seems like with most things, paying attention to your own body's response is key.
100%. We're all different, right? What works for one person might not work for another. So pay attention to how you feel and adjust your routine based on that.
Great advice. Now, I know a lot of our listeners are busy people, and they might be thinking, okay, all this sounds good, but I just don't have hours to spend at the gym.
Totally get it. And that's where this idea of the minimal effective dose is so encouraging. It basically means that even small amounts of exercise can have a huge impact on your health and well-being.
There was a study that found just 15 minutes of moderate exercise per day was linked to like a 14% reduction in mortality risk and an extra 3 years of life expectancy.
It's powerful stuff. Like a simple walk around the block could have a profound impact on how long you live.
Crazy, right? It just highlights that even small changes can make a big difference.
Exactly.
You don't need to become a marathon runner overnight or anything.
Nope. Even doing half of what's traditionally recommended for exercise still gives you substantial benefits. The biggest bang for your buck is going from zero activity to some activity.
And we were talking about those exercise snacks earlier. Those little bursts of activity can really add up, right?
Absolutely. They're a great way to make it more achievable, especially on those crazy busy days.
So it's all about being creative, finding ways to weave movement into your daily life, even if it's not a dedicated workout. But there was one study about older adults and dementia risk. For those who are really focused on cognitive health, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, fascinating research. It showed that even a small amount of walking each day led to a drastic reduction in dementia risk among older adults.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty motivating. Like, get moving, even if it's just a short walk each day. It seems like all types of exercise have these surprising benefits for our brains.
They really do.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits of exercise at different times of day and how even small amounts are super beneficial. Now let's dive into the different types of exercise and why a balanced approach is important.
Right, because there's no one-size-fits-all approach, is there?
Nope.
It's all about finding what works for you, your goals, your preferences.
Tailoring it, yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so let's break it down. Let's start with cardio.
Okay, well, cardio is fundamental. It's not just about heart health, though. It also has a really positive impact on brain health. Increases blood flow, helps release those brain-boosting chemicals we talked about earlier, like BDNF.
So a two-for-one benefit, basically. Heart and brain.
Exactly.
What are some examples of cardio that people might enjoy?
Oh man, so many options. Walking, running, cycling, swimming, dancing, anything that gets your heart rate up and keeps it there.
I can feel my energy lifting already. Okay, how about strength training? I'll admit, I've always been a little intimidated by weights.
Yeah, but it's so important for building and maintaining muscle mass. And that's key for your metabolism, bone density, and get this even cognitive function.
Wait, cognitive function. So lifting weights can actually help you think better.
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
But research does suggest strength training can improve memory and executive function, especially in older adults.
Wow. It really does seem like every type of exercise has these unexpected brain benefits.
For sure.
Okay, what are the good strength training exercises for someone like me who's just starting out?
You can use weights, resistance bands, or even just your own body weight. Things like squats, lunges, push ups, planks. There are so many possibilities.
So you don't necessarily need a ton of equipment.
Nope.
Awesome. And then there's, we can't forget about mobility and flexibility. I have to admit, that's the part I tend to skip.
It's easy to overlook, but it's so important, especially if you're sitting a lot.
Okay, so key benefits of focusing on mobility, especially for, someone who's desk-bound.
Well, it's all about improving your range of motion, preventing those aches and pains.
Makes sense. I'm feeling a little stiff just thinking about it.
I bet. So, examples of mobility exercises. Think stretching, yoga, Pilates, foam rolling, anything that helps you loosen up and move more freely.
So we've got cardio for heart and brain health, strength training for building muscle and strong bones, mobility work to prevent injuries and stay flexible. Anything else we should consider for a well-rounded routine?
You've hit the big ones, yeah. But we can't overlook mindfulness and breathing exercises.
Ah, right, right. Important for managing stress and mental clarity.
Exactly.
So what exactly do we mean by mindfulness and breathing exercises?
Well, think yoga, tai chi, meditation, or even just dedicated deep breathing exercises. All those practices can help calm your nervous system and sharpen your focus.
I've noticed that even just doing some deep breathing can be really calming, especially when I'm feeling stressed, like hitting a reset button.
That's a great way to put it, and research backs that up. Even brief mindfulness or breathing exercises can lower stress, improve attention, and boost your mood.
Seems like adding mindfulness and breathing is like adding another layer of well-being to your routine then, right? Not just physical health, but mental and emotional too.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that a lot of activities blend all these different elements, like a vigorous yoga class that can be cardio, strength training, flexibility, and mindfulness all in one.
Oh, wow, that's efficient. It sounds like there are tons of ways to tailor your routine, really make it your own. But how do we put this all together into a balanced exercise routine that we can actually stick with?
That's what we'll explore in part two of our deep dive. All right, welcome back to our deep dive. Still thinking about all that exercise, right?
Oh, absolutely. We talked a lot in part one about the benefits, different times of day, those exercise snacks, but I'm curious about the why. Like, why is exercise so good for us, both physically and mentally?
Yeah, let's keep out a bit on the science behind it all.
Let's. I really want to understand what's actually happening, like at a cellular level when we move.
Well, one thing to remember is that exercise, it's not just about burning calories or building muscle, right?
Right.
It's about triggering all these changes in our bodies, changes that affect, honestly, every system we have.
Including our brains, it seems. I mean, there's so much research now about the connection between movement and how our brains work.
Totally. So think about it. When you exercise, your heart rate goes up. It's pumping more oxygen-rich blood everywhere, and that includes your brain.
So it's like giving your brain a supercharge.
Exactly. And that increased blood flow has a huge impact on things like attention, memory, decision making, helps those brain cells function at their best.
See, this is why I'm such a fan of those midday movement breaks we were talking about.
Right.
It's not just about giving your body a break, it's about giving your brain what it needs to stay focused.
Exactly. And it's not just blood flow that's affected. Exercise also releases a bunch of brain boosting chemicals.
We talked about BDNF. What else is going on in our brains when we move? Give me the good stuff.
Okay, well, you've probably heard of endorphins, right?
Oh, yeah. Those are the mood boosters, like natural pain relievers.
That's them. They're often responsible for that feeling of euphoria you get after a good workout.
The runner's high. I've definitely experienced that. It's amazing how much exercise can shift your mood. Are there other chemicals involved too?
Yeah, so there are also neurotransmitters, things like dopamine and serotonin. They play a big role in mood, sleep, even appetite.
Okay, can you break those down a bit more? I know they're important, but I always get them mixed up.
Sure, so dopamine, that's linked to motivation and reward, and serotonin, that influences mood, sleep, feelings of well-being. And exercise actually helps to regulate the balance of these neurotransmitters, which contributes to that sense of like calm, focus, and just overall mental clarity.
So it's like exercise is this multivitamin for your brain, providing all the essential nutrients for it to work at its best. And these benefits, they aren't limited to any specific age group, right, or fitness level.
Nope, that's what's so incredible. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just starting out, exercise can have a positive impact on your brain.
It's encouraging to hear that, especially for people who might feel intimidated to start exercising. It's never too late. But it's not just about the brain stuff, right? We were looking at sources that talked about other benefits too.
Right. So beyond all those brain boosting effects, exercise has been shown to reduce stress, improve sleep quality, and even spark creativity.
It really does seem like the ultimate life hack. It benefits our bodies and minds in so many ways. But I'm curious about the specifics. How does exercise actually impact our brains at a cellular level?
Ah, that's where things get really interesting. One of the most exciting areas of research is neuroplasticity. It's the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout our lives.
Like, I've heard that the brain is kind of like a muscle, right? The more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's amazing to think that our brains can continue to grow and evolve as we age.
Exactly. And exercise plays a key role in that process. It promotes the growth of new brain cells, particularly a region called the hippocampus.
Hmm.
That's the area that's essential for learning and memory.
Wait, so exercise is literally helping us build a stronger, more resilient brain.
That's exactly right. And it's also strengthening the connections between those brain cells. So communication within the brain improves, it becomes more efficient overall.
It's like you're giving your brain a software upgrade,
I like that.
making everything run smoother, faster. I also remember that one of the articles mentioned neurogenesis, which is like the idea that we can actually grow new brain cells.
Exactly. For a long time, people thought we were born with a certain number of brain cells and that's it.
Yeah,
As we age, they just die off.
like our brains were just destined to decline. But this newer research on neuroplasticity, it's so hopeful.
I know, right? We know now that the brain is constantly adapting and evolving, and exercise is one of the key drivers of that.
So it's really never too late to start reaping the benefits of exercise for your brain.
Never too late.
That's empowering to know that we have some control over our brain health and that exercise is one of the best tools we have. But, it's not just about preventing that decline. It's about optimizing our brain function now, thinking more clearly, learning better, being more creative.
Absolutely. It's like mental fitness along with physical fitness.
Love that.
And the best part is, it's never too late to start. Whether you're in your 20s, 50s, 80s, exercise can make a difference.
That's great news for anyone who's maybe thinking, oh man, I wish I'd started exercising sooner.
Exactly. The key is to find activities you actually enjoy, things you can stick with over time. Consistency is what matters for both physical and mental fitness.
And you don't have to go from 0 to 100, right? Even small amounts done consistently can make a big difference.
Right. Remember the minimal effective dose we talked about? That's a great place to start.
So around 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week, or 75 minutes of the more vigorous stuff.
Yep. And you can spread it out over the week. You don't have to do it all at once.
It's all about what works for your schedule.
Exactly.
And hey, every little bit counts, right?
Absolutely.
Those exercise snacks can really add up.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get too focused on the exact number. Just focus on moving your body regularly and enjoying it.
That's the key. Enjoy it.
I like that. Don't overthink it, just move. And as you start to build that consistency, you can always do a little bit more, maybe make it a bit more intense.
For sure. But remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right. We're talking about creating a habit for life, not just a quick fix.
Exactly. And as you keep making movement a part of your life, you might find it becomes more than just about, checking off a box.
What do you mean?
Well, it can become a source of joy, a way to deal with stress, maybe even a way to connect with other people who love to move.
Like it can become a part of who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. So exercise, it's not just about physical fitness. It's this whole journey of like self-discovery, growth, connection.
I love that. And it's a journey anyone can take, no matter your age, fitness level, background.
All you need is the willingness to move.
That's it.
And the belief that you are capable of more than you think. Okay, ready for part 3. Welcome back to the deep dive. So we've been exploring all of these ways to optimize exercise, right? For alertness, for health, for all the good stuff. But now, in this final part, we're kind of shifting gears a bit.
Yeah, we've gone deep into like the science behind it all.
Mm-hmm.
Those amazing brain benefits, all the different strategies for fitting movement into your day.
Right. But I think our listeners are probably ready to actually, put all this knowledge into practice.
Absolutely. So let's talk about how to actually create an exercise routine. One that's effective, obviously, but also something you can actually stick with.
Right. Something that's enjoyable, something that actually fits into your life. It's got to be tailored to you, not just like a cookie cutter plan, right?
Exactly. And I think the best place to start is with an honest look at like your current lifestyle, your preferences, what are your goals?
taking inventory, kind of. Where are you starting from? What do you like doing? Where do you want to go?
Exactly. So ask yourself some questions, right? Realistically, how much time can you commit to exercise each week? What activities do you actually look forward to? What are your goals? Are you trying to improve your heart health, build strength, get more flexible? Maybe all of the above.
Yeah, listeners might want to grab a notebook, jot down some answers to these questions. It can help to actually see it all laid out in front of you.
For sure. Once you have a good sense of where you're at and what you want to achieve, you can start designing that routine, one that actually fits your needs.
And remember, there's no right or wrong here.
Nope.
The best exercise routine is one you'll actually stick with. So it's got to be enjoyable.
That's it. I can't stress that enough. If you hate running, don't force yourself to run. If the gym fills you with dread, explore other options.
There's dancing, swimming, hiking, playing sports. I mean, the list goes on.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to try new things, experiment a little. You might be surprised by what you end up loving.
I am all about trying new things. It keeps things interesting. But what about setting, like, realistic goals? It's easy to get caught in that all or nothing mindset, but that usually leads to burnout, right?
Oh, totally. Start small, be patient with yourself. You can gradually increase the intensity or how long your workouts are over time.
It's like building a house, you know?
Mmm.
Got to lay that solid foundation before you can build something that'll last.
Love that analogy. And don't forget to celebrate the small wins along the way. Consistency is more important than intensity, especially when you're just starting out.
It's so much better to exercise for even like 15 minutes, but do it most days of the week, than to do one crazy intense workout and then do nothing for days.
Way better. Consistency builds those habits that stick. But, fitting exercise into a busy schedule, it can be tough. Any tips for our listeners who are feeling a little overwhelmed by their to-do lists?
It's all about being strategic, finding those pockets of time that work for you. I personally like to schedule my workouts just like any other appointment.
Ooh, I like that.
It's non-negotiable. It goes on the calendar. I show up for myself.
Make it a meeting with your most important client, you. And think about the times that consistently work in your schedule. Maybe it's first thing in the morning. Maybe it's during lunch. Maybe it's after work.
Right? Just make it part of your routine.
Make it a habit. And hey, don't forget those exercise snacks, right?
The exercise snacks, perfect for those busy days.
Exactly. Take the stairs, walk to work, do a few squats while you're waiting for the coffee to brew. Get creative.
I love those ideas. It's all about fitting movement in wherever you can, even if it's not a formal workout. You know what else has really helped me? Having a workout buddy.
Ah, accountability partner. It makes such a difference.
It's more fun, too. You can support each other, keep each other motivated.
Absolutely. So grab a friend, a family member, someone who shares those fitness goals with you, or join a gym, a group fitness class. That can be great too.
And even if you're more of an introvert, there are tons of online fitness communities, apps that can provide that support.
For sure. It's all about finding what works for you. Surround yourself with those people who will cheer you on. But I think above all, remember that exercise shouldn't feel like a chore. It can be fun. It can be something you actually enjoy.
That's so important. It shouldn't feel like a punishment.
Exactly.
It should be something you look forward to.
So find those activities you actually enjoy. Set some realistic goals. Make a plan that works for your life. Find that support system. And most importantly, have fun.
Yes. Fun, non-negotiable. Okay, I want to circle back to something we mentioned before.
Okay.
Listening to your body.
So crucial.
Because it's really intelligent. It'll tell you when something's not right. So pay attention to those signals. If you're feeling pain, stop, rest, don't push through it.
For real. And if you're tired, if you're feeling burnt out, give yourself permission to take a rest day. Or just do a gentler workout.
Totally. No shame in rest. In fact, it's essential. You got to recharge those batteries, right? So you can come back even stronger.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into all things exercise, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
I'm listening.
Exercise is a gift you give yourself. It's an investment in your health, your well-being, your future.
Couldn't agree more. Every time you move, you're not just, strengthening muscles. You're nourishing your brain, lifting your mood, improving your life in so many ways.
So make movement a non-negotiable part of your day. Find what you love, be consistent, and enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel inspired, empowered, and ready to move.